I tried RTT and it didn't work. Every now and then I see comments left on different videos saying that I tried an RTT session and it didn't work for me. So as an RTT therapist, I decided to make a video to speak to what might be happening if you had an RTT session and it didn't work for you. This is the third video of a 3-part series, so go ahead and watch the other 2 videos if you haven't seen them yet, and I'll include the links to those videos in the description. My name is Soul, and I created the Living Narrative to show you how to quickly transform your story, because the story you tell becomes the life you live. And it's my mission to help you write a beautiful story, but not just any story, the story that's meant for you, so that you can have beautiful, juicy, loving relationships and live a meaningful and abundant life. So go ahead and click the bell button and subscribe if you'd like to be notified every single time I post a video. I've been facilitating rapid transformational therapy since 2016, and I've been helping people change their life even longer. I've literally helped hundreds of people rewrite their story and take quantum leaps in their life. If you're not sure what RTT is, it's a very powerful healing modality, and I've got other videos about that which I'll link in the description below. For now, I just want to say that the views expressed in this video are my personal opinions, and I do not in any way represent Rapid Transformational Therapy or Marissa Peer. I'm all about the easy way. I simply did the RTT training 5 years ago, and I use this method along with other tools to help my clients make really big changes in their life the easy way. Just as a quick recap, in the first video, I shared a story from a client who was resistant to change at first, and the details of what was happening and why it took a few more sessions than usual for her to get her breakthrough. The second video, I shared a common thing that people are concerned about, which is not going deep enough. That being said, let's dive in. Again, this is the third video of a 3-part series. If you want to check out the first 2, go ahead and check out the links in the description below. And this video is all about soul lessons and the key to getting true, permanent change. Here's the bottom line. The single most important thing you need to know if you want to make a change in your life is that behind any struggle, pattern, frustration, something that's bothering you, beneath any of your pain or stress or fear, anything, beneath any of it, there's an important lesson. And when you pause trying to fix, control, change, and stop the things that ail you, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, when you stop trying to fix it or take a pill or do the diet, and you actually stop and you take a minute and you have the courage to go inside and go, what is this trying to teach me? You have the opportunity to learn a very powerful lesson. And this is what creates true and permanent change. Some of my clients will just be like, kind of like a facepalm, like, oh my gosh, it's like so obvious now. It's like this like relief. It's like aha feeling, like right? And then another common response when you've truly integrated this kind of laughter, it's like almost like it's a cosmic joke, and you're like, and you laugh at how hard you made things for yourself. And you realize you were trying so hard over here to like control and fix something, and all you had to do was let go. And now all the things you were trying so hard to do just happen effortlessly. So if you're not having one of these experiences, it means you haven't learned your lesson yet. Of course, there's different ways. Not everybody has this like mind-blowing, like, aha. And if you watch in the first video, you'll see that you don't always get it immediately. If there's layers to the way you've been wanting to protect yourself, which happens a lot, especially with people who've had a lot of trauma or have never had any support to look at or share their emotions, it's quite common that you might have built a fortress to protect you, which is totally normal. However, this video is all about soul lessons, and so I want to explain to you what I mean by that. The thing I want to reiterate before moving on is that once you've learned your lesson, it creates an embodied awareness. There's a shift that happens, and you can feel it in your bones. If you don't learn it in the first session immediately and it takes a couple more, that's totally fine. But once you finally fully integrate it, you will feel that something is different, that you are seeing in a different way, that a weight has been lifted. Not that you have to like do affirmations in the mirror or anything or wonder if it worked or not. You will know. In the words of Pema Chodron, nothing ever goes away until it teaches us what we need to know. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. I love sharing these stories with people because imagine, right? Life wants you to learn a lesson. Your soul wants you to learn a lesson. And it sends a message in the tickle of a feather. You know, maybe a little bit of exhaustion at work. But you don't listen. And when you don't listen to the tickle of the feather, it comes in like a hurling brick, right? Burnout, total exhaustion, sick, COVID, right? And if you still don't listen, it might come hurling down the highway like a semi-truck. And it might actually literally be a car accident, right? Sometimes people have these things happen in their life, like car accidents, where all of a sudden you're flattened on the couch reflecting on your life. And that happened to me. I had 2 car accidents actually really close together. And that was when I started to really reflect on like, wow, I've been going so fast and not really aware of why I've been feeling so much anxiety. And now I had a moment to actually look at it. And this is really common, right? I've heard so many stories of people who've beat cancer, and they share that a part of their healing journey was learning how to let go of resentment, how to let go of anger that they were gripping onto, and make peace with their past. If you want to share in the comments, I'd love to hear your stories of the powerful lessons you have learned from challenging situations in your life. I love reading your stories, and it's so powerful for all of us to hear and learn from each other about the things that we've learned. So please share your story with me in the comments. So I want to tell you a story about a client and a friend of mine, Jay, who was out hiking and got bit by a tick and contracted Lyme's disease. He actually didn't know. I'm pretty sure he didn't know about it for like a year, but weird things were happening to his body, and he was like slowly feeling weaker and weaker, and he didn't know what was going on. He got all these tests done, and eventually he found out he had Lyme's disease. Now, you could say that the tick that bit him is the reason that he has Lyme's disease, which is true. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. You see, him getting Lyme's disease was actually protecting him. Jay was the middle kid of 6, and growing up, he shared a bedroom with 2 other siblings. And I think when he was about 8 years old, his mom died. Suddenly, tragically, and it was obviously very hard on their family, and his father was working really, really hard to provide for them, and he became depressed and he started drinking, and Jay naturally just felt responsible for his younger siblings. Now as an adult, he always just wanted to make everybody happy. With a wife and 3 kids of his own, he worked really, really hard to provide for his family. But not only that, he was kind of one of the people in his family that everyone would talk to. You know, there was some bickering between a lot of his siblings, but he was the one person everybody would talk to. And he always felt obligated to go to every holiday event, every gathering, and to, mediate between people. And he was always there for everyone. He never really knew how to say no. He felt like he just had to always be there for everyone. He was exhausted trying to keep the peace in his family. To be honest, he thought very little about what he actually wanted and needed. He just kept giving and giving and giving. But it was too much. And he conveniently got bit by a tick the summer that his dad had a stroke, which of course he needed a lot of care. And so who was the one to visit him twice a week? Jay, of course. And while he didn't connect this until after when we started working together, what he realized is that the tick, well, not the tick necessarily, but the Lyme's disease actually made his body weak. He had to sleep more. He was tired. He didn't know at first that he had Lyme's disease, and he didn't know what was going on. And he was just needing to sleep more. He was on the couch. He couldn't work out. And he had a reason to not go to every single family gathering and to constantly be there for everyone and to be the only one who would actually go and help his father. The symptoms of the Lyme's disease actually gave Jay a reason and an excuse to say no, because he couldn't say no for himself. I helped Jay see that he really needed to learn about boundaries and how to love and respect himself. He started to see that he was always doing everything for everybody because it gave him a sense of value and purpose. What he didn't know, though, was that he was relying on that to feel valuable. He needed to feel important in everyone's life, and his soul lesson was to see his inherent value and that his worth was not dependent on making other people happy. We now can laugh because we look back and we're like, oh, where was the tickle of the feather there? He actually did get into a car accident. It was just a fender bender, but he had a car accident, and he also had a thing that happened at work where he didn't get a promotion that he really deserved. And he was so focused on the shame and hiding that he totally missed the opportunity for a lesson there too. As soon as Jay integrated this powerful soul lesson, everything started to shift for him. He no longer felt the need to be the mediator between his siblings. He didn't feel like he had to go to every single family event. And people at work started respecting him more. He started to only do things that he really wanted to do. And one of those things was spend time with his kids. And now he had the energy to actually do that. And he didn't feel like he needed to go doing all the other things. And he learned how to say no. Not because he practiced how to say no, it's because it was no longer relevant to feel the need to people please. So instead, he was able to spend time with his kids, which is what he really wanted to do. Now he actually got to enjoy time with his family a lot more. And he had more energy. He started being able to work out again, which he hadn't been able to do for years. So you can see the power of learning the soul lesson makes all of the things kind of shift in your life, and you don't have to plan it all out and figure it all out. We didn't need to attack or fight the Lyme's disease or try to stop it and make it go away in order for Jay to get his life back. We just needed him to see that it was a powerful tool for him to learn an important soul lesson. Betrayal, illness, cancer, parents who don't love us, lost objects, stubbed toes, pandemics, job loss. Everything that we struggle with contains within it an opportunity to learn something very valuable about yourself and your unique soul path. Every one of us is here for a different reason. And we're all here to learn different lessons. You don't have to look very far. Just look around in your life right now. Whatever you're struggling with is an opportunity. There's a key in there to help you learn something powerful about yourself. And when you learn what it's there to teach you, instead of trying to stop, fix, and control it, then change happens very easily. There is no diet, formula, strategy, or pill that is going to change your life, because healing doesn't come from a list of do's and don'ts. Healing comes from the end of conflict with yourself. And that's what makes it so easy to write a new story for yourself, but not just any story, the story that is meant for you. If you did learn something in your RTT session, but you're still not quite seeing the changes that you were hoping for, you might actually just need a little bit of integration. Well, for example, with Jay, he was learning how to have boundaries for the first time in his life. And he had to learn how to actually communicate that to people lovingly, to people who have known him his whole life, to always say yes to everything. And so that was a skill he needed a little bit of support with. And so integration is something that I include in absolutely all of my programs because I feel it's absolutely essential, and many other RTT therapists offer that as well. Ultimately though, change is made so much easier when you learn your soul lesson. And RTT is just one of these tools that I use to help people learn those lessons. If you're interested in rewriting your story and you feel ready for a quantum leap, come to thelivingnarrative.com for more information. You can also click the link in the description below. Check out these 2 videos about rapid transformational therapy to learn more, and go ahead and hit subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified every time that I post a video. And if you got something out of this video, go ahead and also click the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.